All right. Welcome to the May edition of the Kings Cort Podcast.
Oh, I'm still in the groove. My fault.
What's up, everybody?
What's good? What's good, everybody? What is good? Happy Saturday to everybody.
Oh yeah.
Happy Saturday.
Happy belated Mother's Day to all the moms.
Since y'all see, go ahead.
I said happy belated Mother's Day to all the moms.
Oh yeah, happy belated Mother's Day.
By the way, y'all, they told me 6 days after the fact.
I'm pretty sure I told you the day.
We definitely
It's crazy.
What's crazy? You see how she do it? 6 days.
One day we're talking about today. We are talking about love language. We're talking about love, and these
brothers that you love so much. Yeah,
they waited. Didn't say nothing to me on Mother's Day. Waited until after the fact, and then said, "Oh yeah, by the way, Cort." I digress. What we talking about today?
Forgive us.
So as y'all see in the flyer, today's topic is about what is love? What's love got to do with it? Love language. We're all, as you see, something basically it's talking about love in general. Yeah. So what are y'all thought process when it comes to the love languages? How do y'all feel about love languages in general?
Well, I mean, I think love languages are important. I'm glad they exist because one thing that I have learned is that people love and respond to love differently, right? Mm-hmm. Every person is not the same. Thank you so much, Frank. I appreciate that. It's genuine coming from you.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. It's genuine. It's genuine coming from him because he didn't have access to me on Mother's Day. So his happy belated Mother's Day, it means a lot.
Appreciate
unlike the three of you who have my number and just, your belated Mother's Day, just, I digress. Back to what?
I'm going to do what we talked about on the last show, and I'm going to take accountability. My
there
bad.
You go.
That's my fault too.
Yeah, me too.
That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear.
All three of us.
You see, we're disputing it at all now.
I accept. I forgive you. Anywho, back to talking about love languages. I just think they're really important because, each of us, not even just male, female, but just people in general, we love differently. We respond to love differently. And so I think love languages are cool because it gives a person the opportunity to tell you how they like to be loved and like what sustains them. I did. But so yeah, I think they're cool. And I really want to talk about today, just breaking down each love language, what it looks like. And I want to talk about, you guys' love language and your partner's love languages if you have a partner. And yeah.
Oh yeah. Go ahead. Were you about to say anything?
No, you go ahead. I'm looking at something.
I was gonna go ahead and I guess define each of them first, I guess, before we kind of get into them a little bit further.
That's smart.
So there are 5 in total. Words of affirmation is the first, expressing affection through spoken words, praise, or appreciation. Examples, you look great. Thank you for doing that. The second one's quality time, giving someone your undivided attention, engaging in meaningful conversation, and doing activities together. Third is receiving gifts. For some, gifts are tangible symbols of love, and the thoughtfulness behind them is what matters most. Number 4, acts of service, doing helpful things for your partner, like chores or running errands to show you care. And then last but not least, physical touch, expressing love through physical contact, like hugs, holding hands, or a pat on the back.
Let's go. Who's going first? I want to know all the love languages. And just to put it out there, it is okay to have more than one. Some people feel like, oh, well, you can have one. Or you might have one, you might have 2, you might have 3. So I just want to hear from everybody, like, what are your love languages? This should be interesting.
I'm gonna go first. I would say that my top 2 of the 5 would be words of affirmation, quality time, because to me, you can't get the memories that you put in with your significant other. You cannot get back, and you got to always remember that when you going through these different things in life, it be great times, be rough times. That quality time always can keep a relationship strong, and that's something that allows you to get to know your partner even better. Because what is the sense of a relationship if you're together, you don't have no quality times? Like it could be watching the show, going for a walk in the park. It ain't even just gotta be going on dates. You can find quality time in certain aspects. And I'm sure Don will hit on this because he's married. But one of the things
Don't be putting my business out there like that. You let me say that.
Hey man, I'm just saying,
but you good, man. I'm just playing with
you. But the top thing I would say is probably for me would be words of affirmation, because one thing about it, let's be real, we living in a tough time right now, and whether it's a economic issue, your mental health, whatever, you need someone that's going to continue to keep pouring into you, like, hey, proud of you for this, proud of you for that, because you don't know what a person deals from day to day. So to me, that stands out a lot when you're able to consistently express those words of affirmation, because it needs to be given both ways, because at the end of the day, that allows you to be better out here in this world. When you're going through different things, you can come home and say, I know I'm gonna be uplifted. And that's a key thing that you got to remember. That's both for men and women. You got to make sure that you pour into your significant other, because if you don't, then you don't want nobody else on this outside pouring that into them, because guess what? Then you start to lose the steam of that relationship. So I think those are the top 2 things. I can respect receiving gifts is definitely cool. I don't have anything see anything wrong with that as well. That's something that I feel like, comes, of course, you got your holidays, but you also got your time where you may want to that can also tie back into the other 2. You may want to give a gift like, hey, I want to show you my appreciation for what you've done with that. I think those 2 kind of open up that opportunity for the other 3 to flow in your relationship. So that's kind of how I look at the love languages.
Okay.
I will I would say for me, words of affirmation for sure. Because specifically, I'm just gonna keep it real. Us as black men, and black women. I'm gonna go ahead and acknowledge Courtney too. I just think that as men is very important that we do get those affirmations. I know that it's up to us to encourage ourselves. It's up to us to uplift ourselves and to see the value in ourselves. It's something special when your significant other, whether it be your boyfriend, your girlfriend, husband, wife, or whatever, they see that value in yourself too, and they affirm what they see on the inside of you.
Yeah.
They bring attention to those things that are good for you. They bring to the forefront though your best qualities, what they enjoy about you, what makes them happy. And so I just believe that words of affirmation is very important. Personally, that's top of the list to me. I love when Jen affirms me, because she may not know what's going on with me on any typical day. I could be having a bad day, and it's just that simple. Hey, babe, I love you, or hey, babe, I'm proud of you. Like that can go, that can create wonders for that person. I be having, like Nate's saying, we experience tough times at times, and I know for me, some days are good, some days aren't the best, but that's just that simple. Hey, I love you. That gives me that extra energy, that gives me that extra oomph to be like, you know what, like let me shake this off, let me do what I need to do in order for me to fully tap into the potential that not only do she see in me, but I see in myself. So definitely words of affirmation. Another one for me is physical touch. I mean, enough said. A simple hug, kiss, of course, sex. I mean, that's very important to to men in general. I mean, let's not act like it's not. Like, come on, come on. We love being mature. We love not mature. We love being pursued. I know some women say they love to be chased. Men love to be chased too. We want you to approach us with that moo on and be like, hey, babe, let's do what we need to do. Hey, I'm saying, men to men that says, okay, you want me, like you want me, you desire me. And so just like, when women say, when we experience, when we exactly, take them drawers off. But anyway, I'm not gonna dive too much in that. If y'all want to hear more in depth
Not
in that,
drop the drawers.
go subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we had a whole episode on that. So go view that. I'm not gonna go too much into that. But all in a nutshell, what I'm saying is men love to be chased as well. Just like women love to be chased in that aspect, men love to be chased as well. Quality time, that's something that I'm still developing. It comes not only as a desire, but as a requirement, because of course in marriage, which is like a totally different territory, quality time is going to be at the top of the list. I mean, that's the only way you're going to be able to learn more about who you're married to. You're going to learn your ins, your outs. You're going to learn the good, the bad, and the ugly. I mean, all that comes in quality time. You don't ever want to be at a point to where you feel like your spouse feels like you don't desire them, or you don't want to spend time with them. I know that that's something that me and Jen have improved in our quality time, because there were points in our marriage that she didn't feel as if I desired her as much as she desired me. And that is something that we continuously put at the forefront in our marriage, is quality time. Cool. Spending time together, whether it be watching TV or reading a book or reading the word or praying together. You want to do whatever it takes to be able to let the other person know, hey, I love you. I love you being in my space. I love you. I love doing life with you. And one of the things that gets those accomplished is quality time. So just to wrap this up, because I know that Ant and Cort has their answers. Number one, words of affirmation for me, 2, physical touch, and 3, quality time. Acts of service is cool, receiving gifts is cool with me, but those 3 main things are at the top of my list.
Okay. And what you got?
For me, just to echo some of the same things that Don and Nate have already said, but quality time is huge for me, especially like engaging in meaningful conversations. Like, I feel like one thing I absolutely hate is when I'm talking to somebody that I care about, and I'm either talking about my day or sharing information that is important to me, and you're scrolling on your phone, like not acknowledging what I'm saying, not looking me in the eyes, like not echoing any of the thing that I'm actually saying to you.
Run that back one more time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like,
run that back one more time. I need you to run that back one more time.
Or they'll fake repeat something that you said at the end of the sentence to make it seem like they were listening to what you said. Yeah, like, I don't know. There's a difference between like actually hearing what someone is saying and listening to the words. And so that's really big for me, just as far as feeling valued, because the times that we live in, everyone is glued to their phones like almost 24/7 for the most part. Yeah. And so being able to actually have like a real conversation with someone and feeling that they value what you're saying. I'm
still working at it too. I'm still working at it.
I think we all got it to a certain degree.
Yeah, like to be honest with you, I feel like my brain is fried since COVID. I don't know what happened, but
yeah,
like my attention.
I do want to say, Ant, to your point, I hear you and I agree, but from a woman's perspective, you guys men are, I don't want to say y'all are from Mars, because you're not, but as a woman who has to do multiple things, you kind of learn how to
multitask and all
listen
that.
and still do other things at the same time, especially when you're a mother, because your kid will go 90 to nothing. And you have to filter what they're saying while you're cooking dinner or while you're, getting ready for work or whatever the case may be. So you just kind of learn how to pick up little nuggets and be like, oh yeah, so and so and so, and repeat back, to kind of let you know, hey, I'm listening to you while I still got 1,000 other things going on. But to your point though, I agree with you. And I do believe that, when you're with your partner, you should give them your undivided attention.
It doesn't have to be. It's especially when you're doing life with someone. It's hard when you're being pulled in so many different directions. But can you give me 5 or 10 minutes of your undivided attention for me to tell you about my day or something that frustrated me, whatever it might be. So that one's really big for me. Words of affirmation too. I do feel that goes a long way, especially like when you might be having a rough day and your girl will reach out to you and say, hey, just thinking about you, love you, whatever, hope you're having a good day, something to that effect. And it can just completely like change your entire mood. And I mean, going back to physical touch, and I we talked about this in the not safe for work episode, but like Don said, it's like men, we want to feel wanted too. So having, being able to, it's got to go both ways. And so it can't just be, listen, like when we want something to happen, it's the men kind of initiating the action, and it has to go the other way as well. I think
it's got to be more balanced.
Yeah, it has to be balanced, exactly. And it's not just that. I think like if y'all are going somewhere in the car together, holding hands, or y'all take a walk in the park, or whatever it might be, like little stuff like that, or maybe giving your girl a foot massage, or whatever, like just finding different ways to kind of have that physical affection that y'all are sharing. But those are the 3 for me.
Okay, I'm impressed, y'all, because I never expected to hear so many men say that words are important to them. So I am actually like very taken aback and impressed that all 3 of you included words as one of your love languages. That is interesting. Words of affirmation is definitely my top. And I think that it's like that for a lot of reasons. But primarily because when you lack something growing up, it becomes important to you as an adult. And so I lacked affirmation growing up. And so as an adult, it's very important for me, for my partner to affirm me. I almost need it. And I learned recently, I've been reading this book called Attachment. And so I learned recently that, my fixation on that love language has to do with my attachment style, because I tend to be anxiously attached, which I'm actively working. We need to do an episode on attachment. Like, it's some mind-blowing things in that book that I had never even considered until I started reading it. And you start to learn what type of attachment style you have. And there's 3 different types. You can be anxiously attached, you could be an avoidant, or you could be securely attached. Those are the 3. And sometimes you can blend 2 of them sometimes, but those are the 3 primary. And so, with me being anxiously attached, in the absence of words, in the absence of affirmation, it's like your brain panics, right? Mm-hmm. And so, as an almost 40-year-old woman now looking for a partner, it's important for me to connect with someone who's able to give me that, right? Because I know that I need those words. So words of affirmation for sure. My second one will probably be quality time. I like spending time with my person. And yeah, like I'm not a gift person. Like I work hard, I spoil myself. Gifts are cute, that's nice, but I don't require that. Like it doesn't sustain me.
She spoils
I
herself. Y'all heard that, right?
You heard
do.
it.
Independent
And
women.
the last
Yeah.
thing that I told the last person that I was
Child Neo.
I said to him, I said, your presence, PRESENCE, means more to me than your presence, PRESENTS.
That's good.
Gotcha.
I don't care about your gifts.
Ladies, take notes.
I don't care about your gifts. I care about your presence. I care about how do you show up? How do you show up for me? How do you show up in moments when I'm vulnerable? How do you gift it away? Do you throw money at me? Oh, shut up, take this and go shop. Or do you give me your presence? Do you give me your time? Do you give me your attention? Do you give me your affection? How do you show up for me in the critical moments? Very, very, very important. So, yeah, I am not big on gifts, and that's no shade to people because that's some people's love language, and that is okay. The acts of service, it's just not. I'm not huge on it. So I would say that my top two definitely words of affirmation and definitely quality time. Yeah.
Cort, I want to ask you something that you mentioned that about the presence. And I grew up around my mom, around a lot of my girl cousins and stuff. So one thing that I remember hearing them say on a regular is like and this is one thing that I kind of tied into being a adult male when it comes to dealing with relationships is that they're like you. They appreciate gifts, but it's not their top thing because also they look at it from this perspective here. With the way that you start with gifts, if you're gonna start away, you got some women that they expect that same consistency. So you can't go out here giving out these $500 to $1,000 gifts, and then you can't go out here and splurge that once you get deep into the relationship. Is that kind of the take that you feel too, to a sense?
I think that goes with anything, not just gift giving. The last guy that I was dating came out the gate heavy on the intention, heavy on. I mean, I got pictures of the most beautiful flowers I've ever received in my life. And he was consistent.
Mm-hmm. True.
And he was consistent not just in the gift giving, but he was consistent with his time. He was consistent with his presence. He was consistent with his words and his actions and all the things. And then the presence started to diminish, but the flowers kept coming. Mm. And so then the flowers needed to make up for the absence. And then eventually the flowers stopped too. So there's an old saying, funny y'all would bring this up because I literally just said it to my therapist a couple of hours ago during my session. The old saying is, don't start out with what you can't hold out with. Mm. If you know you can sustain something,
that's heavy.
Don't start it. It is so critical when you are dating to show your true self up front. I know we all like to do it. We're all guilty of it. We want to show our best selves at the front, right? Because you want a person to like you. You want to make your best impression, right? But y'all know what I have found to be, more effective for me. I show a person my red flags up front. I come out the gate telling them things that I've identified about me that are not so great. I'm my authentic self. And so that way, when you do that, they almost learn to love the not so great parts about you first, as they're getting to know the good parts about you. Because what happens is we put on this show, We do all this thing, we spend all the money, and then it stops because you know you can't sustain it. And then it's like, oh, well, what happened? And well, you fell in love with a character.
Yeah.
That wasn't that real person, that was a character. And so that's kind of my biggest takeaway from my last situation. 2 months were beautiful. And then I spent the next 8 months trying to find that high again that I felt in those 2 months.
Mm.
Y'all better
And
take
it was
some notes.
and it
Yeah.
was all because you started out as a character instead of being your authentic true self. And
And I think
you couldn't keep up.
and that's such a you said some excellent things in that court. You really did. And I think that once you come out with the red flags first instead of what's more appealing, you will come to find out that the fact that you came out with the red flags first is the thing that appeals the most. Because true love tells you, instead of putting on a facade or giving you something that with the appearance that it could be rather than what it is, I love you. And that's the greatest example of love that we could ever, I mean, outside of Jesus, because Jesus came to us with his true authentic self. He
Yeah.
told us why he was here. He told us why he did what he did. And what happened? Some were compelled, others weren't. And some people, and at the end of the day, we have to realize that some people can't handle our truth.
Yeah.
And that's okay. I mean, when me and Jen first dated, she was upfront with me as well about certain things. But at the end of the day, she didn't make me date her. She said, hey, A, B, C, D, E. And at that point, I had to sit back and be like, okay, is this something that I want to keep pursuing, or do I walk away right now? I wasn't feel out, she didn't feel make me feel obligated to pursue. That was my choice. And one thing about love is not going to obligate you to do anything.
Sure.
Love is going to cause you to desire to do something. And many times, like you were saying with the presence, many people think that just because the person is gifting me, that means they love me. There are many people out here that equates love to gifts. And that's not true. Just
Now,
because that person is giving you money, just because I'm pretty sure there's many people out here getting abused and still getting gifts.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because the gifts represent love to them. There are actually people out here that think that them getting beat on it and abused, that's love to them. And many people have different types of love. It could be good love, pure love, and it could be, as we know, toxic love. you know but it depends on what you're willing to put up with. And it's, one thing about the presence doesn't necessarily mean love. Yeah, sure, I appreciate the gifts. I appreciate, you treat me out to dinner. But if there's no time being put into this relationship, then the gifts can't make up for the time. Time is one thing that we cannot afford to waste.
it's valuable.
It's valuable.
My
It's valuable.
my business
So
said something a while ago, years ago, and it has always stuck with me. And it's simple. He said, "Love shows up. Love shows up. Love is not gifts. Love shows up for you."
mhm.
And that always just stuck with me. But I want to share something with you guys too. I want to submit something to you and all the men who watching, not you, Don, because you're already married, but I guess you could still probably apply it to yourself a little bit too.
Mhm.
But particularly for any single men that's watching, I want y'all to learn how to receive the love of a woman who accepts you as you are when the character goes away. When the character is no longer around and she chooses to stay with you, or she chooses to continue to explore the avenue of y'all being together or whatever the case may be. Because if a woman sees who you really are after the character is gone and she chooses to stay, she loves you.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like y'all rob yourselves of, you miss out on the opportunity of great women because you yourself feel insufficient.
Mm-hmm.
You yourself are insecure in the areas that maybe you couldn't sustain. And so instead of you just being honest to say, hey, I did that because I wanted to impress you and I, this and that, blah, 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 but this is who I really am and this is what I got. But I was still, instead of y'all doing that and y'all run or you reject it because you're insecure within yourself. So I want to say, I would like to see men be more open to receiving love from women who are clearly showing you that it's okay. You don't have to be a millionaire. You don't have to make 6 figures. You don't have to, whatever the case may be. If she's still there, she loves you.
Thank
and
you.
you should give it a shot.
Thank you.
That was amazing what you just said. That was amazing what you just said because
that was words of affirmation.
Oh yeah,
that was and that right there, what she just said. To if a woman says that to you, that should make you want to run through a wall. To be honest with you, and that's the God of His truth, because those are the things that I think, and I like the fact that you brought it up to a lot of the single men, because sometimes that statement, "Pride is the devil," is so true, because you be battling the internal battle with yourself of how am I going to go by impressing her and this? I can do this, I can do that, I can do that. So I'm glad that you brought that point up, because that's an internal battle that a lot of guys deal with. Is am I meeting a particular standard that I've upheld when in fact sometimes your standards are just being you. Let time come, let things come along as they go. But sometimes there are people that just unfortunately don't know that it is okay with being who you are. And that's
the reason why I wanted to tell y'all that is because I heard something literally in the last week from a guy. And when he said it to me, it almost irritated me. It didn't irritate me because he was irritating me. It irritated me because it was something that I keep hearing over and over and over again. And so it caused me to just feel some type of way. And what he said to me was, he said, I don't know that, he was like, you're out of my league. And that hurt me because I'm not out of anybody's league. I'm not on a pedestal, and I'm just like, you got to know me. Y'all know me. So people who know me know that I'm like the most down to earth person. I don't put myself up higher than nobody. I'm very humble. Yes, I work hard and I have nice things, but material stuff don't matter to me. So for somebody to look at me and say, I'm not good enough, like, it bothered me. And so people tend to look at me and, they think like, oh, she's intimidating and this and this and that. But I'm just like, I would like to see y'all. Now, there's a fool in every situation. So I'm not talking to the guy who, is cocky and thinks like, oh, no. But I'm just saying, I'm talking to regular, average, decent human beings, men. You know what I'm saying? Shoot your shot with that woman. Don't stop looking at women as being out of your league. Like, I wish that y'all would stop doing that, because just because,
I mean, that self-doubt is such a strong, like such a powerful, like negative emotion, like where it really eats at you and makes you question like so many things about yourself. And go ahead, what were you about to say?
I just be wondering how many guys have I missed out on that were good men because
Yeah, I
they
mean,
were too scared to approach me.
well, and the thing about it is, with the age that we live in, so many people, like, dating happens through social media. So it's like you'll hit somebody up in the DMs. Like, you don't really see a lot of men approaching women in just like grocery stores or just like out in the real world.
True.
And so, and then women's version of shooting a shot is staring at a man for 3 seconds and then going on about her day. So it's like we don't really know, like, she's feeling me, or she likes me, she thinks I'm handsome, whatever it might be. A lot of women don't really shoot their shot, especially like in person like that. That's not really something that happens. So, but going back to what I was saying, like, as far as feeling insecure about yourself, like, there are men who are in relationships right now, long-standing relationships for multiple years, got kids with a woman, and they're like, they battle with themselves every day as far as like knowing, hey, is she here because she wants to be here, or is it the circumstances? Is it the money? Is it the life that I'm providing for? Is it the kids? Like, what is it that's keeping her around? And so, like Courtney said, like, women going out of their way to just affirm their feelings for the men in their lives, and letting them know, like, I'm here because I want to be here. I'm here because I love you, flaws and all. I think that's, super, super important.
I think that I was just wanting to address that comment. I don't know that it's that women are scared to shoot our shot, but at the same time, this in the same way that y'all would have reservations, we do too. You never know how a person is going to respond. And so rejection is a real feeling. It's a real thing, and nobody likes it. Man, woman, cat, or dog, And so you just never know these days. You never know. I remember watching a funny reel. It was a long time ago, but it was a girl on, I believe it was Instagram. And she was like, y'all, I just seen the finest man I ever seen in my life. She was like, the man was so fine, I couldn't help but shoot my shot. And she was like, and so I approached him and I gave him my best. And the guy opened his mouth and turned out he was gay. Like, and he and he was like, girl, you whatever. But I laughed so hard. And even to that point, you just never know. You can try, but it's just it's hard, y'all. It's difficult for women to
100%. Because I think, since people don't get me wrong, people talk, but like actually like striking up like conversations with people, like as you're going about your day, is, especially with somebody that you don't necessarily know, I feel like that doesn't really happen. Yeah. And so, like, I'm a naturally nice person, so I can strike up a conversation with somebody. Like, we're standing in line waiting to, grab a cup of coffee, whatever it might be. And it's like trying to figure out, like, hey, is this just, hey, two nice people having a conversation with each other, or is there more?
It's hard to gauge. And
like,
like, it's a lot. And I'm gonna be honest, y'all. Like, funny, we would be talking about this on this episode, but I'm just kind of getting to a place in my life. I don't want to sound like doom and gloom, like I'm giving up, because I know guys are able, but like, y'all, like, I feel like I'm running out of options here. Like, I'm like, because it's just it's so unpredictable these days. Like Ann said, you just never know. You don't know if a person's just being nice or if a person's interested. Nobody knows how to use their words anymore. Yeah. And so that's why words are so important to me, because it's like nobody's making their intentions known. And then when they say they are, you don't know if they're telling the truth or not. You know what I'm saying? You don't know how long it's gonna hold up. So yeah, it's when they say the dating pool got piss in it.
I mean, don't you got intuition?
I mean, what I had intuition, and it got me nowhere.
Oh, wow!
Because at the time, the character was in play, and my intuition said, "This is great. This is good." and until it wasn't good anymore. And then my intuition said, this is not good. You know what I'm saying? So to me, intuition does it really, I mean, it's good for what it's worth, but what did it really do?
I guess for me, the question is, how do you know when a person genuinely loves you? Because
I can answer that easy.
Okay.
Going back to the same situation, I had a horrendous situation that I was dealing with. It was horrendous. I dealt with it alone.
That's true.
I dealt with it alone. Easy. Does he love you? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. Why? Because love shows up.
Yeah. I think that's the best way. Like, time is extremely valuable, and when people really don't mess with you like that, they're going to consider it a waste of their time to involve themselves in things that you have going on. So that's really the easiest way for me to gauge is if I'm struggling with something or if I need help, whatever it might be, the people who are willing to show up and show out, those are the people who really care. And the ones that are just comfortable, like, oh, well, call me if you need me, or kind of distancing themselves from you, like, you know the difference. Like, you don't even have to ask. Like, you can just be talking about a situation that you're going through, and it's like, listen, I'm there. Like, you don't, so
yeah.
I love the fact that you brought that up too, because one thing for me, and I don't like to utilize the comments about zodiac signs and all those different things. But one thing that kind of hit home for me, because I'm born in January, I'm a Capricorn, and it was something that stood out to me about how I operate in general that was tied to that, and it's the level of consistency. You should not have to question a person of they love you or not, because I'm the type, if something is going on with someone and I clearly know that something's going on, you don't even tell me what's going on with you. I'm about to consistently check in on you day by day by day until you get sick of me here asking you those things. If a person can do that and it's not a forced thing, then you know that person loves you. But they're like, of course, Ed said, if it's like that, call me if you need me, but then you don't hear anything back from them, like days and weeks down the road, and they was like, oh, okay, I'm giving you your space because I know you're going through something. No, that's the time that you need to show up.
Exactly. I don't need space.
I hate that statement. So anybody,
and that's what I was told.
And that's ridiculous.
And that's what I was told. Now, I want to be fair. Because I believe in being fair to people, and I believe in different perspectives, right? And so, to be fair, I, as an almost 40-year-old woman, I am learning, and I now understand that certain people can only show up for you to the level that they're capable of showing up for you.
Yeah.
Some people don't have the capacity. They don't know how. And what I've learned to say in those moments is, you don't know how to show up for me, and you're doing the best you can, but that does not sustain me and what I need in a relationship and from a partner. So I want to say that in order to be fair, because it's not always that a person is a horrible person and they just don't love you. It's that they love you in their own way, but that doesn't mean that it's enough to sustain you. And two things can be true at one time. Yeah, you love me, but it's not enough for me.
Yeah. The reason why I
cook it up for our brother.
Tell him to send that.
I give up.
Tell him to send that Grand Rising text.
No, they say about Texas, but anyway.
What do they say?
I ain't finna say it.
See, about to be word again.
We were doing good.
Exactly.
I ain't never heard nothing about no Texas. I'm gonna say out there now.
Oh, I mean, they say all my exes live in Texas. I mean, they say
Okay.
everything's bigger in Texas. I mean,
That's the statement.
That's where I thought. That's where I thought you was going, which I thought was kind of crazy. But hey,
the reason why I asked the question that I asked was because I think that sometimes people may equate love as showing up in good times.
Exactly.
Don't kill the messenger.
Exactly.
Some people, sometimes people think that love only has to show up in good times. I believe that love not only shows up in good times, but it shows up when it's of a, do I want to say uncomfortable? During times of uncomfortability as well. And the reason why I say this because, everybody knows in marriage you're going to have your ups and your downs. And I can just remember the times that me and Jen, we would have disagreements. I'm talking about, the disagreements that was like real heated, like caused us to like get our space or whatever. I would go hours, sometimes a whole day without talking to her because I was so mad at her. I was feeling a way towards her. And she would tell me that when I do that, she don't feel like I love her. And that breaks her heart. And when hearing that just made me get into a place to where I say, okay, I definitely need to shift because at the end of the day, this is the person who I said I do to. This is the person who I said I'm going to spend the rest of my life with. I've been married for 8 years. September 30th will be 9 years. So
it don't feel like it's been that long.
I know, right? Like we said all the time, like it really don't feel like 8 years, but yeah, thank the Lord, we're still doing life together. But yeah, and not saying sometimes we don't have, we don't have our disagreements here and there. That comes with every relationship. You're gonna have disagreements. Now I'm getting to a place to where, okay, let me, say something. Let me say I'm sorry. And it's not just to get over the situation quickly, it's to make sure that I'm doing the best of my ability to ensure the health of the marriage. Like if we get into a disagreement, before we go to, I'm a proponent of not going to bed angry.
Yeah.
Before we go to bed, is there anything, if we get into a disagreement, let's talk about it before we go to bed. She's real big on, not sleeping on separate ends of the bed just because we're mad at each other. As much as it pains me at the times, I'll be feeling the way towards her. I still make my way over there to, cuddle with her before we go to bed. It's things like that truly says to a person, okay, they love me. And you can truly tell that even though you may be feeling a way towards that person. Thank the Lord, man. Thank the Lord. He working on me. But despite of what your emotions tell you at times, love always says, okay, let me do what I can to make sure that we're good. And I always have that mindset when I say, hey, let's talk. I know that we got into a disagreement, but let's talk about it. Let's show accountability to each other. So I do believe that love does show up not only in good times, but also in those times of disagreements as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the not going to bed upset with each other or not leaving the house the next day without, saying I love you. I think that's extremely important because you just never know what can happen. Like, and you don't want the last conversation y'all had to have been a negative one or you said something that you can't take back or that you don't really get another opportunity to apologize for if you went too far. So I think that's a great rule that y'all have in place.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and even
I hope y'all are listening to Don, because he pouring some great knowledge to y'all. And I know the other two you agree with me. It's a beautiful thing to see. You know, y'all going on a decade, man. In this generation, it's just a beautiful thing to see. So y'all need to make sure y'all taking them notes when he's pouring that knowledge into y'all. Make sure you taking your notes. But go ahead, bro.
And I'm not saying, bro, it's not easy, man. Like I tell people all the time, marriage is not for the weak. If you thinking that marriage is just gonna be easy and just gonna be peaches and cream, you're just gonna be hanging up on the chandeliers all the time. No. You need to go into marriage and say, hey, this is for life. This is to death do us part. Like, really, don't just say the vows, but mean the vows. Like for sickness or health, you know, and for rich or for poor, you know, until death do us part. Like, really, you're gonna have to live those vows out, because not only are you making those vows unto each other, but you're making those vows out unto the Lord. You're telling the Lord that no matter what happens, no matter what comes near our dwelling, no matter what occurs, we're going to stick by each other and we're going to work this thing out. It is hard work, but it is beautiful work at the same time when you do it God's way. That's why I would tell anybody who is who's looking forward to get married or who desires to get married, like, don't think of marriage as a scary thing or let me avoid this. Like, no, all I'm saying is that be prepared to work, but when you do it the right way, it will work. Trust me.
Were you about to say something, Courtney?
No, I wasn't. I was just taking it all in.
And don't think that you got to get it all in one day. Don't think that you got to have it all together overnight. Even though me and Jen, we've been married for 8 years, there's still things that we're working on, and we're going to continuously to work on until the day we die. Well, I've been good with my wife because of y'all. I mean, it helps too.
Hey, I heard him say that a good Peter whacker covers a multitude of sins. So, hey.
All right, guys, it's been a great episode. Peace out, everybody.
Keep dropping it.
Before, you know, the show is kind of coming to a close, but before we close it down, I did want us to go around and, like, obviously we talked about what love languages we feel like are most important to us, but I wanted all of us to share, like, the love languages that we're good at, as far as, like, you know, partners that we've had in the past, or obviously, you know, Jen, what Don, what Jen tells you you're good at. Just, you know, something what do you think you're best at as far as, you know, with your partners or past partners?
Oh, I'm sorry. Was you about to go first time?
No, you go, Cort.
I want to say, obviously, I feel like personally, what I require is the easiest for me to reciprocate.
Okay.
And so because of that, I am very good with affirming my partner. I am very good with quality time with my partner. But what I also want to say is, when you are meeting a person, getting to know a person, I think love languages, it's good to ask up front. And if a person tells you what their love language is and you know you cannot give it to them, walk away.
Yeah, don't waste their time. Waste your time or their time.
Don't waste either one of your time. If you know you're not capable of giving someone something that they're asking for, walk away. Now, if you are committed, watch this. If you're committed to trying and you are intentionally and actively trying to meet their need, that's different. But I feel like there are certain things that a person asks for, and you know off the top you're not able to give it to them. Don't waste your time, and don't waste their time, because time is very, very, very valuable, guys. Very valuable. So I just wanted to insert that. But I I think that I'm best at what I'm asking for because I'm big on reciprocity. But I'm also a gift giver too. I
Yeah.
love spoiling people because I spoil myself. So I love giving gifts to people. So those are my top three.
I can agree with you on that as far as the ones that are my top or my reciprocation, because I'm that way in general as far as pouring into everybody around me, because I want that same thing, because at the end of the day, to me sometimes, and it could be low-key insecurity, but sometimes you want to know that that security is still instilled in you, that you're with, if I'm pouring this out as far as words of affirmation, not a gift particular thing, that is coming back to me tenfold, because the same way I need that reciprocated, I'm gonna bring that in every aspect. And I also do agree with you on the quality time. Quality time is something that you go back and you look at I'm a memory person. I love history. I love memories. I love looking back on the great times, because of those things will always stick with you. Sometimes you may not necessarily remember where you were or how it went or what you spent or whatever. If you remember those conversations, what y'all did, what you experienced, all of those things, that pours back into building you down the road. Like you said, I'm a good giver, and I also say I'm pretty solid at acts of service. It's high on my list, but those things would tie into my other top needs. So I can say that a variation of all five I'm really good at, but those four kind of stick out to me the most. So that's kind of where I'm at with it.
Yeah. I'm the well, you gonna say something, Ant?
No, you go ahead.
Okay.
After you.
Okay. Yeah, like just to echo what Cort and Nate said, I mean, I'm pretty much, character, I'm person reciprocity, however you say it. Of all five, typically for me, what Jen has specifically said that I do well is the acts of service.
Mhm.
I'm very mindful in that department. I know that even though she's at work, I may on my off day, I just, if I see anything around the house that needs to get done that she can't get to, I make sure that I do it. Wash dishes, wash and fold clothes, things of that nature. Just making sure that I'm doing my part and keeping our house, maintained, if she needs me to run to the store or whatever. And many times it's not even a thing of her asking me to do things. It's just I, according to her, I'm very good at just noticing when things need to get done, and I just do it. So acts of service, of course, words of affirmation. She appreciates when I give her words of affirmation. Um, you know, just saying, hey babe, I love you, I'm proud of you, keep doing what you're doing. Just take things one at a time. You can't get to it today, just get to it the next day, but don't cram yourself. Definitely teamwork makes the dream work for sure.
Yes, it
Um,
is.
don't cram everything in one day, just take your time. Um, when she comes to me with certain things, um, whatever it is, I just make sure that I don't make it about me, and I just put the focus on her, just to challenge her to look at things from a different perspective and things of that nature. So definitely words of affirmation, but definitely like a variation of all five, for sure. That becomes real magnified when you get married. Like you cannot slack on any of those five. So yeah, just I would say just a variation of all five, but definitely the acts of service and words of affirmation at the top of the list.
Yeah, the top ones for me, I feel like I'm a really, really good listener. And because that's important to me, I try to, show that in my relationships as well, just making, others feel like when they're talking to me, especially if they have an issue or something, that, they understand I'm not just, I'm actually listening to the words they're saying, and making them feel valued in that way. That kind of rolls over to the gift giving, because I feel like since I do try to focus so hard on being good at that, like I'll try to take, and it doesn't have to be like anything like expensive or anything like that, just taking a minor detail, from a conversation that y'all had, and then tying that to a gift and making them kind of, feel important that way. And acts of service also, like, trying to take things off of their plate, like Don said, whether that's straightening up the house or doing the dishes, loading up the dishwasher, whatever it might be. But like Courtney said, if you know that you're not good at the love language that's most important to that person that you're potentially looking at dating, don't even try.
Waste their time. For my final thought, y'all, I just want to kind of like encourage other single people who may be watching or who may watch later to say that, and I'm speaking to myself as well, be open to dating or love not looking like you think it should look. We often have a type or whatever the case may be, but sometimes the person who best speaks your love languages might not be your type. And so it's more important to fulfill the needs of, fulfill your love languages than for it to look a certain way. So I want to encourage everybody who's single and not married to be open and receptive to trying something different and trying something that may not look like it would normally look for you.
That is a great.
Yeah.
That's well said.
Great piece of advice.
And I'm gonna drop the mic on that. I'm done.
Oh, that's a perfect way to wrap it up.
100%.
And that's gonna conclude.
I mean, just to I'm just feeling, maybe we need to do a Q&A, of what to look out for when pursuing a future mate. So, I make sure I have my notebook on hand. Because I know most of the questions are going to be directed at either myself or Courtney. So I'm not saying we know. Yeah, I'm not saying I know everything, but for what I can give you, hey,
Chris, you got a brother?
Me.
That's all I want. That's all I want. A provider and a protector, provider, and penis. It's very simple.
Oh my God.
It's very simple.
They end it, please.
Protector, provider, and penis. It's very simple.
She want a PPP.
And she ain't talking about the money though.
And if you feel it, and hopefully you say we can add prayer, add that fourth one. That's all the girl really want.
Prayer need to be number one.
Yeah, that's what the girl really want.
It definitely needs to be number one. Oh,
I'm getting out of here, man. Y'all have been great. It's been a great show.
Yeah.
Appreciate everybody.
We definitely need to. We might need to run this one back for a part 2.
Yeah, this is ending too soon.
Yeah.
I want to hear from the people, man. I want to hear from the people. I want to hear like what they're experiencing, like what they're struggling with, like what they need, advice on, or just kind of see, because we're hearing there's piss in the dating pool. I want to hear some stories, like what's actually happening, what people are saying. So maybe we can coordinate that.
Let's do another. We could go ahead and do another because baby, I got some stories.
Yeah,
that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, let's go. Y'all bring the popcorn. I bring the stories.
All right. On that note, this is the end of the May edition of the Kings Cort. This will be a second part to this, so stay tuned. Until next time.
See y'all next time.
All right.
Stay. Love y'all.